Hot news: here are 6 scenarios that could actually end the government shutdown. CNNPolitics. So, stalemate. And, if that, even the most optimistic members of Congress are admitting publicly and privately that they are out of good ideas or even mediocre ideas on how to bring this shutdown to a close. Which got me to think, 1. Senate Republicans revolt. To date, Republican moderates in the Senate like Alaska's Lisa Murkowski and Maine's Susan Collins haven't done much to put pressure on McConnell or the White House to budge off of their current position. Murkowski, 2 massive lines at major airports around the country. We've seen a few outrageous lines, most notably at LAX over the past 10 days, as well as sporadic closures of terminals in and due to and during the shutdown. More recent report: 3. A security breach. This is the worst case scenario for everyone involved. If TSA's 4 freshman Democrats panic. There are. While Pelosi had 5 national emergency declaration. If Trump decided to declare the situation at the border a national emergency, the government would reopen in a matter of days. Trump would take the 6. Trump gives up. The president seems very dug in on this, especially after grudgingly agreeing 2 previous times during his tenure to keep the government open despite not getting the money for the wall that he wanted. But this is Trump.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.